Well, I hope you've been following along the first 6 episodes of this 50 Years of Racing series, and we'll get into some pictures here at the beginning of my grandson Austin as he got into racing quarter midgets. This will be all pictures in this part because for some reason all the videos I took during this era got wiped out on a hard drive that crashed. So all I've got to go by is some old pictures. I'll do the best I can. But if you'll stick along to the end, we'll delve into my final chapter of racing and explain to you how the retirement and all actually ended. That Austin is finished with the toy cars. He's now ready for a mini bike. So Greg and I found him an old used Honda somewhere and bought him a mini bike. And first thing you know, we're at a race at Central City, an indoor race, a motocross, and he does pretty well on that little bike considering the competition he had. So we move on to time to travel with me a little bit on our racing Legends car series. He loves to turn a wrench, likes to get in there and get dirty, going along with us on some trips down to Florida, that and the other. He really likes his car thing, so next thing you know, he wants to go quarter midget racing. So his daddy gets him a quarter midget car, and off we go to Nashville, Huntsville, toward Charlotte. I don't know, we went everywhere. Cumming, Georgia. And he's got 3 of these things he's trying to drive, 3 different classes. And at first he had a little tough time getting the hang of it, but being a driver of a 2-wheeler, going to a 4-wheeler sometimes is a little difficult. But he got the hang of it, won several trophies, ended up in the top class of those quarter midget cars, which is the fastest division. He took it pretty serious once he got up to that point, as you can tell here. But he decides that this girlfriend and him need to turn a few wrenches, and he's trying to teach her to fix this pit bike that I used. And then next thing you know, he wants a bigger dirt bike. So now he's got him a full-size Honda. About 2008, and he's decided that he wants to go bass fishing. So he's kind of give up on the quarter midget racing and starts doing some bass fishing. So that leaves me without a Legends car, and I'm not chasing him around on Saturdays anymore. I decided I don't think I want to buy back into car racing. That's pretty expensive, and at 64 years old, I figured, what the heck, I just find me a beautifully restored 1974 Penton hair scrambler model like I raced back in the 70s, and I joined the American Historical Racing Motorcycle Association and hit the road, and that's exactly what I did. So we're going to different tracks all over the southeast, and did pretty well in that. This Penton's a beautifully restored machine. Cross-country event we attended was over in Illinois, I think, and cracked a couple of ribs on that one, but managed to finish first over there in the cross-country event. And this is Austin wanted to go with me and take his new Honda dirt bike, so they wouldn't let him race, but he got in some track time. Took him around the course one time before the races started. Very well prepared Penton, ready to go up to Mid-Ohio for the American Motorcycle Association's National Championship Hare Scrambles. This is a big event, draws a lot of attention all across the country. It's for the #1 plaque and the first place award for the nation. And here we are with the Penton display area. And then here's me with John Penton showing my first place plaque for the National Championship Award. But now it's time to get back on the road, head down to West Point, Tennessee for a very grueling 2-day muddy event, and back on the American Historical Racing Motorcycle Association series, now that we've got the AMA National sewed up. So we'll see what we can do down here for 2 days. It's been raining down here for a long time. 2 days, rained yesterday. The trails are very, very muddy. We've had the motorhome stuck. It's been quite a weekend, but we'll see what we can pull off down here. They're a 2-day qualifier. It's an international 6-day trial qualifier, which means you normally back in the day you had to run 5 or 6 of these across the country to qualify to get to an invitation to go to the international 6-day trials over in Europe. And I never got that far. I didn't get a chance to go over to Europe, but I won 3 or 4 of these ISDT qualifiers back in the day. This is the grueling kind of a race that exactly what the ISDT would be like if you did get to go. So it's a good indication of whether or not you're capable of doing it. We'll see how it goes today. Looks like somebody got some pretty good pictures of us in the mud and stuff. Me and Greg were pretty wore out by the time we got this one done. After winning that nasty race there at West Point, Tennessee, the next month up, I think we're going up to the Leroy Memorial ISDT vintage race up there, which is another 2-day event. See how that goes. So far it's been 6 for 6 in this series, looking pretty good. Got a gold medal out of this 2-day qualifier up there at Leroy Winters Memorial Race. So we'll just stick around. We'll see how we do when we get down to Florida in February. This one wraps it up for this season, and we'll be down in Florida and then Texas after that. Looks like 2010 might be a pretty good year. We went up to Gainesville, Florida, and pulled off another first place up there in the cross-country race. So we'll wrap it up this year, and as we head back to Bowling Green, we're going to stop off in Texas and run the big race out there. Let you know how that turns out. We arrived a little early for Diamond Don's here. We got us a great campsite in his big camping area. Got a chance to walk around and look at a lot of the displays. Some of the teams that are already here. Pictures are available here in a minute. And walked around part of the motocross track and a little bit of the cross-country track. But the cross-country was about a 5 or 6 mile loop, so didn't get to walk it all, most of it. And going to see how this turns out. This is a really big show. This is kind of a East meets the West type of an event, and it's another one of the ARHMA national events. So it's a big deal. It's really a lot of fun. This guy puts on a good show, and got a beautiful, beautiful motocross track laid out. So we'll just wander around here a little bit and take everything in, see what it looks like. And it looked really good after winning yesterday's cross-country race. That was, I think that made 8 for 8 this season, and the last season and the first race of this season. But bad news is coming up here. I told Christine I would not run the motocross, but the track was so beautiful that I ran the motocross anyway. And I crashed really, really hard on the long grass straightaway, probably 60 miles an hour by the time you got to the end of the grass. I don't know what I hit, don't know what hit me. I was leading the race, I think, but something happened and I fell off. That's all I can tell you. High-speed crash, did a lot of damage, broken collarbone, ripped my hide off of my hind end, pulled all the muscle off the hip bone. Took me about 2 weeks to get home and get that rig home. I spent 3 days here at the campground after the hospital trip, that is. The ambulance took me to the hospital as soon as the crash happened, and Christine followed me over there in another town. We didn't even know where we were, but came back to the campground and stayed there 3 or 4 days, close to a week before I could leave. And then got as far as Little Rock, Arkansas, and had to stop again, go to the hospital again. Spent about 4 or 5 days at another campground, and finally felt like I could drive home, so we made it back to Bowling Green, and turned out that was the end of my 2010 season and the end of my motorcycle wrecking. So I don't know what I'll do next. 64 years old, pretty hard on an old guy falling off a motorcycle at 60 miles an hour. We'll see. Well, I hope you enjoyed this little history lesson, and hope you'll go back and look up the other episodes before this one. This one here wraps it up. Thank you very much for watching. Just catch you on the next one. Oh, and don't forget, be sure and like and subscribe. Thank you.